And then Raghav said, "And then there is you, Aisha." She swallowed hard. "I don't understand. I am just a tarot card reader." Raghav let out a dry chuckle, but there was no humor in it. "No, Aisha, you are much more than that. You have been tested for years without even realizing it. They sent people your way. They watched how you handled power, greed, manipulation. They wanted to see if you could be shaped, molded into their circle. At first, they thought you were worth recruiting, but then—" He hesitated. Then they realized the truth. Aisha felt something in her chest tighten. What truth? "You are incorruptible," Raina whispered. The words felt like a slap. "You don't chase power, Aisha," Raghav continued. "You don't crave money, chaos, destruction. You have something they can't afford to let exist in their world, a conscience. And that ironically made you more dangerous than you could ever imagine. If they couldn't recruit you, they had to eliminate you. That's how they work. Only those who can be controlled are allowed to live." Aisha felt her body go cold. "Then why am I still alive?" Raghav exhaled sharply. "Because there is something about you that's special, and they don't make a move until they understand everything in totality." Aisha's mind reeled. The weight of the truth, the realization that her entire life had been under unseen surveillance, that she had unknowingly been playing in a game with stakes far beyond what she had imagined, pressed down on her like a vice. And then the final blow. Raghav stepped closer, lowering his voice. "I was sent to eliminate you, Aisha." Quietly, cleanly. A simple accident, an overdose, a robbery gone wrong, something that wouldn't raise suspicion. His eyes locked onto hers. "But I didn't." Aisha stared at him, horror creeping into her veins. "Why?" Raghav held her gaze for a long moment, and then finally he said it. "Because I don't think I am on their side anymore." The words settled in the air like dust after an explosion. Raina exhaled sharply, her body finally relaxing as she looked at Raghav with something close to understanding. Aisha took a step back, shaking her head. "So, what now? You think we can run, hide?" Aisha said with a worried look. "They will never stop looking for me." Raghav's jaw clenched. "No, they won't," Raina spoke, her voice quieter now. "Which is why we don't run, Aisha. We fight." Aisha let the words sink in. Fight against a shadow organization that had existed for centuries, against a force that decided who lived and who died. She let out a shaky breath. Maybe she had no choice. Maybe she had never had a choice. But if she was going to go down, she sure as hell wasn't going to go down quietly. She lifted her gaze to meet Raghav's. "Then tell me everything." And with that, the game changed. Aisha's fingers trembled as she pressed them against her temples, her mind reeling. Her grandmother, the thought struck her like a bolt of lightning, illuminating the dark corridors of her past. The unanswered questions, the cryptic warnings, the eerie familiarity of certain faces she had encountered over the years. She had always been told that her grandmother, Laila Qureshi, was a gifted soothsayer, a woman of wisdom who could see beyond the ordinary wheel of existence, but the family had buried the deeper truth. Laila Qureshi had been a member of the Red Phantom, and now they wanted Aisha to take her place. She exhaled sharply, struggling to piece it all together. "My grandmother, she was one of them?" Raina nodded slowly, her eyes shadowed by a past she had yet to reveal. "Not just one of them, Aisha. She was invaluable. The inner circle trusted her insights. She didn't just read the cards, she interpreted fate for the ones who controlled the world. She guided them, whispered in their ears when power hung in the balance, and they expected the same from you." Aisha's mind raced back through her own past, suddenly seeing it through an entirely different lens. The odd offers she had received over the years, clients who weren't really clients, conversations that felt more like assessments than casual readings. She had been tested without realizing it. Even Ravi and Neil, the conversations they had had, the subtle hints they had dropped about a higher purpose, about wealth beyond imagination if she only played along, she had brushed them off, thinking they were just trying to pull her into their world of greed and vice. But now she understood. It had never been about money, it had been about power, and she had refused them, unknowingly rejecting the very forces that had made her grandmother untouchable. A shiver ran down her spine. And why was she still alive? Aisha took a deep breath, steadying herself. My guru, she whispered. Raghav frowned. What? My guru in Rishikesh. Maybe that's why I'm still here. Her voice grew stronger as the realization settled. I have always followed my guru's teachings. She never told me outright to reject these people, but she taught me to see the world differently, to never let power seduce me, to remain true to my gift. Maybe that's what saved me. Reina exhaled sharply. You think a guru is what protected you from them? Her tone was skeptical, but beneath it there was something else. Curiosity, maybe even hope.